Hey, welcome back to BLKcity Coffee Q&A. I love your Q&As. I love your Q's so I can A. Love these vids. It's from Space Boy. Are all the cups the same roast? What's the difference? Okay, so I just went to a proper cupping class, and I've been doing my own research about cupping for the last forever. I don't know, 8-10 months or something. But the cupping class, so what you do is it's all based on the special, what is it called? SCA, I think, Special Coffee Association, Specialty Coffee Association, right? So they have a set of rules and standards for cupping, everything down to the size of the table, the size of the bowl, all these things, right? The water. And what you're trying to do basically during cupping is to eliminate everything else, eliminate all the variables except the coffee, so that you can really grade the coffee and deem it specialty coffee or not, right? Specialty coffee is 80 points and above. There's this whole chart on how to score coffee based on aroma, fragrance, palate, finish, defect, body, all kinds of stuff. And it's pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. What you want to do is set up 5 bowls of the same coffee so you can see that it's consistent, right? I don't do that because I don't even roast that much coffee anyway. I feel like it would be a waste almost. And for me, when I'm cupping and whenever I do my cupping is for me to just practice, expand my palate, see if I can pick up any defects. That's what I'm looking for right now, is like, is this coffee good to drink? You know, if I wake up every morning, am I going to be happy with it? Am I able to bring out those subtle notes? I doubt it right now. I'm very new, you know, I'm very novice. The fact that I'm talking about it and I put out videos on it and stuff, it makes me appear as if I'm an authority, but I'm really not. So I really, you know, like I'm a learner, and I'm always going to be a learner. I'm not going to nail anything immediately just because I have a very fancy roaster. You know, that's like being a golfer and or trying to be a good golfer, buying the most expensive golf clubs and still not being a very good golfer, right? So I still have to know how to learn and use the equipment. And coffee roasting is very touch and feel sort of thing, very intuitive too. So it takes experience plus the technicality plus a bunch of other stuff, but it's so fun. It's so fun. So anyway, with the cupping, get back to the cupping. So what they do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bowls of the same roast, just so they can make sure that it's consistent. That's how they do it. That's how you, and then there's a bunch of other rules too. So what I'm doing, I'm looking for defects. I'm looking for, does it taste good? Did I over roast something? And then I'll go look back at the data and just try to do my own analysis of my own roast to see if I'm executing what I am learning well, and is it taste good, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll feel like I'll nail something in the data when I look at artisan. I'm like, cool, I've got a clean 40-40-20 development, overall development time of this coffee. It's most likely going to be tasty. But if I'm moving from one roast to another, or if I felt like last time I didn't nail it, or I felt like I didn't get the best out of that coffee with that roast, I'll go ahead and cup it again. And I just make up these rules as I go because it's my own journey with coffee. And that's what I want to empower you guys with. As you guys ask me these questions, it's really dope. But, and you guys get to hear what I think, but it's really what you think in the end of the day, what you want to do with coffee and how and where you want to go with coffee. It's all your own journey, which is pretty cool, which I like. All right. Do you cup after roasting or do you wait a few days? Also, are there any tools to ensure consistent quality other than cupping? Yes, that's a pretty loaded question. Do you cup after roasting or do you wait a few days? I cup right after, yeah. Because I want to see if, even though the coffee will be more delicious about 5 to 6 days after that roasting date, and that's very fresh coffee. That's the most delicious it's going to taste. It's like when you make a pot of spaghetti, right? And yeah, it's going to be really good when it's piping hot, but imagine, isn't it really, really good after it's been sitting there for a while? It's been stewing in its own juices. Things have kind of settled down. That's kind of how I think of it. Things have settled down. More like a little bit, I guess, development happens after, you know, just because they've been able to release a lot of their carbon dioxide and stuff. And they've just been able to settle down a little bit. Like just roasted, I do feel that it's a great time to pick up any defects, like I was saying, and see if, did I nail certain things in the roast? And then I'll make notes and be like, cool, I think I need to charge higher here. I think I wasn't able to carry that energy through, or whatever, you know, whatever the things that I would, that I need to make note of as a roaster. Because every roaster, yes, like you can have a same BLKcity 1 kilogram right now, and it could come from the same ship and everything, but they say that the machine is going to be fine-tuned. It needs to be refined to what you're doing, like whatever your setup is. What's your atmosphere like? Like, are you in the garage like me? Are you in a big warehouse where it's super cold, or it gets super hot, or like what? Like what are the other variables going on? As far as other tools to ensure consistent quality, other than cupping, that's the only true way to test a coffee, is to taste it. So other tools would mean like there are some ancillary things that ensure that you get to taste good coffee, which is like making sure that you're maintaining your equipment, you know, make sure that you're maintaining your green bean storage, like there's no like random bugs in there or something, like laying eggs or whatever, right? So I guess the other tools are your own maintenance of all the other things that go into that final product besides the cupping. Yes, the cupping. Okay. Next question. Where'd you get your apron? Etsy. And I had to have it custom made because they don't make it short. They don't like, they make it so long. So I had to have it custom made. I'm going to skip this long ass question because that looks pretty loaded. Here, okay. This one's from HM. Thanks for the video. Looking back, do you feel it was necessary to start with the Hottop, or would you recommend going straight to the one you currently have? Also, I would love to hear your insight on what it takes to run a home-based business successfully. Again, going back to what you want to do with coffee, right? I'll give you my state of mind when we bought these things, and maybe that can inspire you. But you need to just kind of figure out what you want to do with coffee. And that should dictate your decisions, not what I say. Just a reminder. I know you know that, but I'm just reminding you. So when we purchased the Hottop, it was sort of like a novelty gift, and based on the dream that coffee could replace our service-based business right now. We have a very successful service-based business, but it requires us to trade in time for dollars, basically. So it's very hard to scale our work and stay at the same quality. Coffee, however, is just as much money in the industry itself for us to be successful in, I believe. And at the same time, you can scale with this product-based business. Big difference. So the dream is that. That's a dream. Is it real? Not yet. But we were always thinking about it. That's just our curse. We're always thinking about a business. I'm a lot better at putting the brakes on what is in front of us right now, what is doable right now, and what are the things that we need to do, the bricks that we need to lay on this road so we can get there. And so that's our biggest dichotomy and conflict between us, meaning me and my husband, doing this and proceeding forward with coffee as an actual business, and my own comfort and / confidence in being a good roaster. I really believe in good coffee, and I don't believe in just selling it to sell it. You know, now that I do what I do, I really do not want to be a part of something that is, you know, not considering quality, not considering flavor, and not considering educating the client or the customer. That needs to happen. That's why I put out these videos, right? Like, you guys get to just see, and like, I'm just documenting what I'm doing. I'm just sharing it. I'm not an authority. I'm not a professional. I'm not a master, nothing like that. But I get to share it with you guys, and you're like, cool. And we vibe on that. Sweet. But what was I saying? So it depends on what you want to do. That's what we want to do, right? We do eventually want to be profitable with coffee, where this replaces what we do. Is it really real right now? No. So as always, there's always this sort of ball and chain where it's like, to me, I'm like, dude, I cannot be 100% if we have not 100% figured out how to step away from our current business. When we can do that, then best believe. Or if we make the decision and just go, we haven't figured it out yet, but we're going to go, hey, that's it. Like, I don't want to do this type of business anymore. I want to move to this. That's a different conversation as well. So we can take a more active approach to it. Right now, it's quite a bit passive, but it's allowing me to learn and become confident and comfortable in my roasting skill. Because like I just said, I'm not going to sell shit coffee. So, and at the same time, it's allowing us to just kind of get our feet wet without being overwhelmed with starting a whole new business again. And that's been a curse of ours that I'm being very adamant about. It, like, no, we're not starting anything new, and we need a year minimum. I need a year minimum, and I will not move from this position until it makes sense. And my barrier is a husband that goes, we got 5 orders. Let's go. Let's buy everything. I'm like, it's 5 orders. Yes, I'm thankful for 5 orders, but it's 5 orders. All right. We're not, we're in the red. We're in the red, right? And we're in the red, and we're willing to be in the red because I'm learning, and because we have a successful business that supports us, that can support this other passion project until it becomes something. But we have to be patient. So that's my thinking on that. What does it take to run a, where's your other question? Would love to hear your insight on what it takes to run a home-based business successfully. I feel like we're doing better, but I am no authority on this either. I would recommend boundaries, standards. If you work with somebody, if it's just you, then that's cool too. But when you're like, say if you're working with your partner or a spouse, you need boundaries. You need like, hey, like from this time to this time is work time. When we eat, we talk not about business. We talk about real people things. When it's time to watch TV, I do not want to hear a pitch about your next business idea. When it's time to go to bed, I do not want to talk about what's wrong with marketing, you know, like boundaries like that. Because what will happen is when you work from home, your home is no longer your home. Your home is home/business. And business is not that cozy most of the time. It's work, it's grind. It's like, why didn't you do this? Or what's going on here? Or like your brain is always moving, always turning, where home should be calm. Retreat, recharge, right? So when you mix those two, you're inevitably going to create conflict that is just, in the best sense of the word, imbalance. It's not a bad thing per se. I love working from home. I would not replace this with anything else, but it creates imbalance in your life, and you have to work very hard at coming back to balance. And so, and if you have a partner, say, who's not really realizing that, or maybe their tolerance for imbalance is higher than yours, that's tough too, right? It's not that they don't want balance also, but they have a higher, maybe they have a higher tolerance. I have a very low tolerance for nowadays for things that are imbalanced, for things that don't feel good. You know, I'm not very good at just like slaving away, turning off my brain and just pushing things under the rug. I used to do that. I used to do that a lot. That's why I commuted. I have all that experience. I commuted to a job that was far, far away. I was in a relationship where I was quiet the whole time. That was emotionally abusive. And I was just really quiet. Now, I am not quiet. I have a very, very, very low tolerance for things that I don't like. So if I don't like it, I cut it out like a cancer. So it's really the freedom to do anything you want, whenever you want, is also a curse. Not a curse, but like it just, like I say, the best word, imbalance. So when that imbalance happens, you have to find ways and tricks and things, events, make things to bring yourself back to balance. We celebrate every anniversary, every 10th of the month, every holiday we celebrate, because the rest of the time is work. The rest of the time is conflict. The rest of the time is something's not up to standard. How do we fix it? Turning the wheels all the time. That's what it means to be an entrepreneur and work for yourself. You don't just check in, check out. If you have a very good way of doing that, then bravo. In my experience, and a lot of the people that I've talked to, once the wheels start going this way towards working for yourself and looking for ways to market, and you're trying to be a very good business person, and you get going on a steam, you get going, that feels really good. And it feels addictive at times, where it's like for us, for example, it's so addictive for us to be business people, to think business minded. When we go to a party, we're bored. Like, we can't take it. We're like, I don't care about your 9 to 5. I don't care about that shit, because not that we're being callous or that we don't care about our friends or whatever, but it's like our mind is over here thinking about marketing. Oh, you could do this. Oh, you could do that. Like content creation, like kind of a curse. Imbalance. It creates imbalance. So we try to go to Joshua Tree, or we try to go to the desert, or we try to go to Palm Springs or Vegas or whatever, and just be like, meh, and then get back to balance and then try to be humans again. But running a business, you have to become a little bit robotic. And I'm not, it's all great though. Like, to me, like I say, I would not trade this life for anything else. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you my reality. That's what it is. It's not a bad thing. That's the life I chose. I choose to deal with this type of hardship. I choose to deal with this challenge. Because if I don't have challenge, I'm going to be bored. And boredom equals death. I don't want that. I've done that already. So for me, you know, it's not something that I'm pressing on you or imposing upon anybody. For me, this is the life I choose. And I freaking love it, right? Don't get it twisted. I freaking love it. I love sitting here with freaking 3 screens. And I can go see, I can see this nature whenever I want, right? My dog could be downstairs. I can go out and take her for a walk whenever I want. I can edit right now. I can work on that when I want to. Husband's down there. He's in his own space. I'm in my own space. I freaking love it. I love it. So it's up to you what you want to do and how you want to structure your home-based business for success. I think we're successful right now, and in a couple of days, there's going to be some imbalance that we're going to have to come back to balance and fix and address. And I like that. I like that up and down in my life, because like I said, I don't want this like beep. What's beep? Beep. Dead. I don't want to be dead. I want to live. So that's what we do. Okay. Thank you so much for your questions. This is a long ass Q&A, but I love it. So keep sending them. Cool. I'll see you next time. Peace.